coming soon. What do you mean coming soon? It's coming today. Ladies and gentlemen.
Lay down.
You're making this very hard for us. It's not part of the plan. You were doing so good before. What happened now?
Lay down, buddy.
His anxiety is really like through the roof because of the storms we've been getting. So he's just kind of a, you know that clingy person you had back in your past relationship? He's like the worst. But he's so cute, so he gets by. Anyways, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Studio Fright Club here in Casa del Hondo. Got a fun live stream for you guys. I'm excited. First of all, can we hear? No echo? Everything sound good, first of all, right?
We sound all right.
I just want to make sure that's out of the way first. We're good, right? We're good? Okay. You're going to have to pet him like that for an hour and a half.
I know. He hates the storms.
Yeah, so I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I also think he does it knowing he gets attention.
I don't know. No, he gets really scared. It's so funny because Hondo, no problem with the storms, fireworks, anything, does not care.
Yeah.
He does not like it.
And you know what's crazy too? We live really close to Disney, so we can hear the fireworks every night. He has zero problem in the first like 2 months. And then there was one night I took him outside to go to the bathroom right before the end of the day.
Really bad.
And we had a lightning strike that literally hit maybe about a few hundred yards away in a field close to the house. And that dog freaked out. I mean, he's jumping and yelling. And I'm like, dude, people are going to think I'm murdering this dog outside. And since then, it has been no good for him.
He looks so
Look how
silly.
cute he is. Do you guys see him? Just from behind. I wish we can get him sitting like that forward. All right, we'll just pet you like this the whole stream. That's what you want. You know, we're enabling this behavior. So every live stream, this is going to happen.
I know.
Next live stream, I'm going to have to like bolt him to the wall so you guys can just see him and he can stay put. Anyways, what's up, everyone? So,
hello.
Fun live stream today, guys. We got some things we're going to discuss. I'm excited, looking forward to. We also have Fright Island, episode 1 happening tonight at the end of this live stream. So if you guys are looking forward to Fright Island, stay tuned towards the end of the live stream. That's where we're going to host episode 1. But before that, we're going to be talking some changes coming to Horror Nights, as in Stay and Scream being the major thing I think that's been recently talked about. We're going to look into that. Good boy. See, yeah, if you can just lay there. Nobody can even see him, but he's just right there laying down, licking the carpet. Okay. But we're going to talk about Stay and Scream. We're going to give our opinions on it. We're going to discuss it because I don't think you and I have really had the time to talk about it.
A little bit, but not like our opinion.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Just like if it's going to happen and what that would mean. But yeah, not anything too in depth.
Yeah, so we'll take some time to get into that. It's going to be like the majority of tonight's live stream. And then chatting with you guys about it, what you guys think. On top of that, we'll talk some scare zones because construction is rapidly progressing forward. New York, the final of the 4 scare zones that we have, has now officially got themed props going up, which looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Like the 1920s, little mobiles that are out there, the vehicles. They kind of go with the buildings and the aesthetic. It's really neat. It's really cool. So we'll talk about that. I know some people also said they wanted to talk about the soundstage queue lines. I personally have no idea what's going on with that. Maybe we briefly discuss that. And then we'll also talk HHN Vegas. Well, I say HHN Vegas. Horrors Unleashed Vegas. We'll talk about that because there's some previews that went on. We'll talk to you guys as far as that's considered. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have Fright Island. But before we start the live stream, I know we're like 10 minutes already in. I want to know where you guys are watching from. Where are you guys watching? I want to know who's the furthest away person from us in our vicinity that's tuning in today. And I want to know who the closest one is. So drop in the chat. Let us know where you guys are watching. I also have candy here today. We're getting close to Halloween.
He's going to pass out candy.
I'm passing out candy to the winners, right? Butterfinger, Crunch. We got Baby Ruth and 100 grand.
I don't think I've ever had a 100 grand.
I didn't until yesterday. I tried this.
Did you have one?
It's really good. I actually really like this.
Nice.
However, we got candy gifted from Butterfinger to Steph. This was really exciting for all the stuff she does. Send us candy, which I don't need to be eating any more candy, but I have been a lot of it.
It's for Summerween.
Summerween. So that's a lot of fun. And then before, too, you guys know what time it is as well. In the beginning of the live stream, we're going to kick off rapid fire Q&A. So guys in the chat, go ahead and write down your questions. We're just going to pick 5 questions. So drop all the questions that you want. We're going to just pick 5 random questions. And then I say rapid fire Q&A. It's not really going to be a rapid fire Q&A. It's more so just a Q&A section. We're just going to find 5 and read them off. And then after that, we will continue to get into the live party. I'm excited.
We have Southridge members for 26 months, which
Cool.
every time we see that, it's just like, wow, that's crazy. They said, I'm the closest. Remember who's in the walls. So yeah,
Weird.
probably the closest. Honestly, probably even with you not being in the walls, probably the closest.
Still the closest, yeah. Southridge Films, member for 26 months. Fright Club veterans.
And then we also have...
You guys might win, to be honest.
We also have Tracy, who's in Canada.
Oh, it's right down the road.
Tom and Nikki, 4,597 miles.
Yeah, Tom and Nikki. I mean, you guys are UK. We got a couple people from the UK right now watching. Let's see. Let's read off what we got. We got Winter Haven, Florida. It's not far. Tennessee, but they said Orlando soon. That's exciting. Ontario, Texas, Mississippi, Lakeland, Longwood, Tamarack. I hope I'm saying that right. Tamarack, Florida.
Iowa.
Somebody also said, "What is Fright Island?" It's just a location. That's
Fright Island?
No, yeah, Fright Island. It is. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Stay tuned
we'll
for the
talk about
election.
it later.
You'll see more about it because then I'll talk for an hour about it. Steph will be mad.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, we got Iowa. Yeah.
North Carolina,
New
Louisiana.
Brunswick.
Quebec. New York City, Puerto
Bonjour,
Rico.
comment allez-vous?
Puerto
New
Rico.
Jersey, Duval, Puerto Rico. Yeah, we got people from all over. I really think, of course, Southridge, you guys might be the closest people to us, honestly. Wesley Chapel, that's not far either. And I think we got some peeps in the UK. So, yeah, see, Siri said 2 a.m. here. Gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Tom and Nikki, you guys staying up late for us. You guys are true.
Yeah, that's some
True
dedication.
warriors.
Or you just don't sleep.
Yeah.
That might be it.
And is that, Siri, is that Devon or Devon? Devon, UK. I might be saying it wrong. Anyways, shout out to all of you guys. This is exciting. I really I'm looking forward to this year and the fact that we are officially, this is our first live stream in the official month of Halloween Horror Nights 2025, beginning.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting the questions ready.
Oh, you got the questions ready?
Because they're mixed in with where people are from.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Cause chaos and confusion
Exactly.
for you. But yeah, no, this is August. Halloween Horror Nights starts this year in August, which
This
means
year?
well,
Oh,
yeah.
you mean this year?
This year it starts in August.
I thought you were like, Halloween starts this year.
Woo. Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights. It starts this year in August. We're officially in August, so it's the month of Halloween Horror Nights. And it's coming by so fast. The year has been moving so fast. But the past 2 months, June, July kind of felt a little long. In the late June into early July, felt like it was taking a while. And then all of a sudden, it's oh, we're already in August. What's today? The 5th? August 5th. That is, to me, that is so wild. It is so wild to think. But yeah, questions? You got the questions ready? Let's get into that because then I want to get into our conversation today because, as you guys know, one of my favorite kind of topics with Halloween Horror Nights is not what are the houses that are coming or speculation. It's more so the logistics. And this year, of course, Stay and Scream. It's been the most recent talked about conversation as far as changes happening. And I want to get into it. I want to talk about it, my word and opinion for it. Same with you. And then I want to hear from you guys because I've heard a lot of positive things, but I've also heard a lot of questions about it. So hopefully we can help answer some of that.
Cool.
All right, questions. Steph, you got them?
All right, first question. What house do you think will be the underdog this year?
Ooh, who asked that?
Southridge.
Wow, you guys actually were beneficial. It's a good question. I like that.
I think it's almost always, I think the underdog that ends up coming up and being a front runner unexpectedly almost always ends up being an original because we don't have much to go off of. So people are I'm not really I mean, that one's interesting, but it's not at the top of my list, and then it ends up being like one of the favorites.
Can I alter the question a little bit? What is your underdog original and IP?
Okay.
Okay, pause.
Okay. I think maybe what?
I don't know. Whatever you say, I'm
I
probably
was gonna
agree.
say the dolls.
Really?
I think that one's gonna actually be pretty scary, and I don't know if people are like not anticipating it, but I think it is at maybe the bottom of some people's
Yeah. I
anticipation
think
list.
Dolls is at the bottom of a lot.
So that's my original, and then as far as IP goes, I don't know. That's hard. If I'm just going like not for myself, but as like everybody, like
Yeah.
on average, I think it'll be the Wyatt 6 because
Yeah,
I think
okay.
so many people are like not really anticipating that one if they're not already WWE fans. But then maybe it'll be a really good house. So those are my two.
As far as originals for me, Dolls is one of those that I really think is going to surprise people. But I also think Graveyard of Flesh, right? Grave Flesh. I'm probably saying it wrong. I think that one's going to be a surprise at like how aggressive and scary it's going to be. That kind of reminds me of there's a house in 2017 that I'm thinking of. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. But it was in a soundstage, and it was near The Shining, American Horror Story. It was near there. What was the name? Anybody remember what the house was in 2017? That was like you literally went to hell and there was like demons and stuff like that. It was in a soundstage. Chat, come through with this because I'm forgetting the name. It's right there. It's right there. Anyways, I'll look at the chat. Steph, if you see somebody throw it up there, let me know. But I feel like Grave of Flesh is going to kind of be like that. And that was a fun house, in my opinion, because it was full of energy. It was just really focused on scares, and it also had some good scenes to it. So I'm really between those two as originals go. And then IPs, I'm also kind of between two as well. I think WWE, just for the fact of, we're not like your typical like WWE fans. So we have no expectation for this except for like, okay, like how does this fit? We need to see the story and get into it. So I think by going through the house, it's going to surprise us. Be like, that was actually fun. I like this. Is this WWE? Sure, I'll look into it. And I think a lot of fans will be like that as well. And then another one too will be Jason Universe. I haven't really been hearing many people talk about Jason Universe because I feel like it is the oldest as far as like the IPs go. So like it's not like it's at the top. They're like, yeah, it's there. I'm looking forward to it. But you have things like Terrifier, Five Nights at Freddy's, WWE that are so niched to certain fan, bases that they're going to be higher up on the list. Where Jason Universe, I think, is going to kind of just get overlooked. And I think that house is going to surprise people, especially being in the Fast and Furious location. I think it's going to do well. So,
yeah.
Did anybody get that house, by the way? The Fallen. Yes, I saw it. I literally turned to the first comment I saw, The Fallen. That's what I feel like Grave of Flesh might be like.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
What was that? Her first one?
Yeah, that's the first question.
What house are you most looking forward to for Behind the Screams? I feel like this is a tough question to ask ahead of time. We always do Behind the Screams later in the year or in the season because we like to really like go through the houses multiple times and like get to know the houses and like like experience them the way that they are several times first and then do Behind the Screams because we kind of know what we're looking for when the lights are on. So I think it's hard to know what ones will anticipate the most until we've been through all of the houses. But if I had to pick one, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe Gulkin.
I was gonna say this real quick.
Or El Artista.
I was gonna say this real quick. Like we could probably do a whole live stream just about Behind the Screams, to be honest. Just like when you were talking about it, I had a conversation a few weeks ago or whatever about Behind the Screams, and it was kind of cool to see how everybody's thoughts on how to do it is so different. And like ours, where we like to wait, to your point, to the very end of the event, what is the ones that really click to us when we get to see it. It's something new for us to look forward to. That's later in the event. It's not like we do everything in the beginning. So by the time we're in week like 6, there's like nothing new. We still look forward to it. It's like, oh, we still have this thing to do. And we usually do it right before the last week of HHN. To me, that's like the prime, because then we get to go in, see the spots that we know and love and we've connected with. And then we learn that extra little bit that makes us love it more. Mm-hmm. So when we have our final moments through the house, it's like, oh, like we fully have the whole thing together.
Which it's actually funny that the first time we did Behind the Screams, we wanted to do it early. We wanted to do it like first weekend so we could get content and all that. And then my parents were coming in town for my birthday, which is the last week of October. And they wanted to do Behind the Screams because they don't really do HHN at night, but they like to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So,
well, your dad like would love to go do it. Yeah.
So
shout out Frank.
They wanted to do Behind the Screams, so we waited to do it with them.
Yeah.
And by then we were like once we did it, we were like, that's the way to do it, because you just have so much more of an appreciation for the houses after you have like grown to love them so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So to get to the question though, right? To be honest, I've already went through El Artista. I want to go through it again.
We also do know what the 6 and 3 house, like which houses they are, but I'm blanking on which ones.
Well, El Artista is the one that you really want to do, right?
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Same one. I want to go through it again, and that's in the 6 house tour,
which
is usually the one we do. We like to do the most, so we do the 6 house tour. Yeah, I really want to go through El Artista again because it is glorious. You guys are going to love that house. So I'm excited for that. I would legit there's other houses I'm excited to do, but if I had to pick another like house to do for Behind the Screams, I would go back to El Artista. That's what I'd pick.
Cool.
All right, next question.
What do you think the theme of the tribute store will be this year?
The theme of the tribute store? I cannot answer that. Sorry.
I have no idea.
I'll put a rumor out there.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like that conservatory theme.
Yeah.
Because they've been saying that that's like the overall theme for the year. I don't know, but honestly, I kind of like when they used to just have like each individual room had its own theme rather than the entire tribute store being one continuous theme.
I'm split on that because like really I'm going to say this real quick about the tribute store. And by the way, if you guys are just joining and you see rapid fire on the screen, it's not rapid fire Q&A. I'm actually just going to take it down just so it's not confusing anybody. We're just answering a few questions first before we really get into it. The tribute store has always been one of my most look forward to experiences at Halloween Horror Nights and Universal in general. Like even the Mardi Gras tribute store, the summer tribute store they do, even All Hallows Eve Boutique and Islands of Adventure. That is my favorite store in any of the theme parks is All Hallows Eve Boutique. I love that spot. Love it so much. We should go more. They just don't put enough out. But to your point that you were saying, it's hard for me to pick because I really think this year's tribute store, like you said, is probably going to be something around the conservatory and have that overall gothic theme. But at the same time, we have some really popular IPs this year. I don't see them not incorporating the IPs in their own sections like we've had in years past as well. So I really don't know because I feel like it could be any of those.
I don't know. I also am split. Like I like how creative they can get with like a single continuous theme. But I mean, if you have been watching for any amount of time and you know me, I love a good anthology. Like I love anthology shows. I love houses like Slaughter Cinema that are anthology based. So I kind of feel the same way with the tribute store. Like I almost like seeing like how are they going to incorporate this IP and then like this one and not have it also try to fit one singular theme.
So I'm just going to throw 2 tribute stores your way, right? HHN29, when we had like the Stranger Things, like with the demo dog that was in the front. And there was I can't even think of the other ones because I'm just remembering Stranger Things. But we had Ghostbusters. That was the beginning one, I think. That was a good one that had IPs.
Yeah.
But then remember the one that we had with Boris Schuster
Yeah,
and that was like
that
the
was
black
cool
and white,
too,
you know,
yeah.
like they're done so well. The tribute store team always does so good. Like that to me is like the surprise of Halloween Horror Nights. I think for a lot of newcomers to the event as well, because as far as they know for the event, they know the houses, they know the scare zones, they know the little things, like what's the things like that. And then they see the tribute store. They go to the tribute store and they're like, what is this? Oh, this is it says tribute store, right? But this is the store that has Halloween Horror Nights merch. And I think that, and I might be wrong, right? I might be wrong. But I'm remembering back to my first time experiencing the tribute store. When I went through, I didn't know it was going to be themed. I thought it was just going to be Halloween Horror Nights merch for that year's event. And I remember walking through and I was like, whoa, this is an experience in itself. And we've met a lot of first timers too that's gone to the event that said the same thing about the tribute store. It's like the sleeper of the event. You don't know it exists until you actually go and do it. And you're like, wow, this is so cool. They put this much into a store.
Nowadays you got TikTok,
yeah, social
Instagram,
media, yeah,
YouTube videos.
But there still are people that are not really exposed to the tribute store itself.
That's true.
So yeah.
Anyway,
there you go.
Next question, and this is number 4. What house will hold the longest wait time this season?
What
I
house?
think like what one will have the consistent longest wait? I think
From start
it's
to finish.
I think it's between Terrifier and Five Nights. I think those two will have the longest wait times. Simply
Honestly, I would say Five Nights would be higher than Terrifier.
Maybe because there definitely will be people who don't go in Terrifier because they're too scared or
Exactly.
they don't like blood or
There's still questions about
whatever,
the water
the
effects.
water
and,
thing, yeah.
There's still questions
So,
about that one.
probably Five Nights. Probably.
I think Five Nights. I think that is the overall most accepted house besides the originals, right? That's the most overall accepted like IP that all fans are like, we can do. That's what I feel. You know, it's funny. I'm trying to think of the IPs right now. Oh, Fallout. Forgot about Fallout.
See, Fallout I thought was going to be like a huge like draw because it's like a video game.
Still is.
And I mean, yeah. And like Last of Us was obviously like ginormous. But I do think that because it was announced early and because then they announced, you know, Five Nights and Terrifier after that, it's almost gotten a little
exactly.
not foreshadowed,
Overshadowed. Yeah. The houses that usually get announced early on get forgotten compared to the ones
But I do think
later.
there will be a long line for that one as well because it has a big fan base.
Okay. All right. I think every house is going to have a long line this year.
That's
I really
true.
think this year is going to be so packed.
I keep seeing comments and posts like, we're going during like on a Wednesday. Do you think we need express? Yes.
Yeah, like the Wednesdays being slow, like don't exist.
Doesn't
anymore.
exist anymore.
Like, it really doesn't. Anyways, back to what I was saying though. No, you're good. I think Fallout will have a large crowd. What I'm interested to find out is because, excuse me. What I'm interested to find out is the fact that Fallout being in the location that it's in. Remember, these are the new sprung tents. We had them last year. You had Goblin's Feast and you had the classic monsters there. By the end of the night, those back houses usually, especially when they're originals, usually have a very short wait time, sometimes even a walk-on. With Fallout being a major IP that's back there, I'm interested to find out what the crowd flow will be like towards the end of the night in that area. Because again, like Last of Us was always a long time or a long wait. Even when we had the parade building, sometimes they would still be a long wait towards the end of the night. But by the time you get in the last hour, they go to like 20, 30 minutes, depending, sometimes less than that. So I'm really interested to see what Fallout does as a major IP being at the very back of the park in the new sprung tents towards the end of the night. Because I know by the time it's 10 o'clock at night, 9, 10 o'clock at night, all houses will probably be 60 minutes plus. They're going to be firing on all cylinders. So that'll be interesting to see. Again, that's a logistics thing I'm interested in. I want to see how that works.
Yeah. And then the last question, we'll make it quick.
Okay.
I know you could go on and on.
We're at 31 minutes. I'll make this one quick so we can get into the bulk of it.
What's a logistic idea that you would implement that's never been done before? See, I was like, you're gonna take an hour to respond. I think that I would love to see it. I don't know if this is a logistic idea, but it kind of is. I would love to see like a premium Scream night, but adults only, and like more in the middle of the run.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that's logistics, but like to your point, I would love to see a premium Scream night have 2 nights. One at the beginning of the event, since they're doing that, people love it. Sure, even though I still think that's not how it should be done. Yes. I think opening night should be opening night, period. But besides that, they should also have a premium Scream night in the middle of the event, like at the beginning of October. I think that'd be cool. An adult night would be interesting, but I feel like, again, that gets to a lot of logistical issues to deal with on the outside of that. But I feel like that could be cool.
A logistic idea. No, or chaperone policy.
Yeah.
There's my logistic idea.
I would like a chaperone policy. Again, I feel like that'd be a nightmare. But again, to be honest, I don't even know if I could talk about my logistic idea publicly yet.
We'll go. We'll move on.
Yeah, we'll wait until the future.
Anyway, that is our rapid fire. That's our opening Q&A, I guess.
Good night. We're done. And with that being said, I'm gonna have a Butterfinger, gifted from Butterfinger. Nice transition.
What do you want to transition to?
Who loves Butterfingers, by the way? I feel like they're slept on. I love Butterfingers, but they're never like my. They're never my like first like thought.
Oh, they're definitely in mine.
I'm gonna.
When I was growing up, they were like one of my favorites.
Can you hear that?
ASMR.
Happy Halloween.
Nice. Twix gang, yeah. Twix are good. Reese's, of course.
Reese's.
But is that a candy bar? No.
We can't have this conversation today. That'll be an hour-long conversation. Maybe closer to Halloween.
Yeah, sometimes they're like really hard and like hurt your teeth, and then sometimes they're like nice. So that is one downside, but I love a Butterfinger.
You know what surprised me the other day? A s'mores that had the Butterfinger. I think you made that the other day?
Yeah.
That was really good. I love that.
Look good.
All right. Oh, Javier said Butterfingers are better than Reese's. Oof. Oof.
Those are fighting words.
I gotta be careful. They gifted us Butterfingers, so I do love Butterfinger. Okay, anyways. The live stream today, right? The main reason we're hosting this live stream is because we decided it's Tuesday and we're gonna do it, right?
We want to talk about HHN.
But it's Halloween Horror Nights. We have some big changes that were made recently that we heard coming for Stay and Scream. Also, I'm so sorry. I'm salivating so much from that. That was so good.
I knew you shouldn't have done that.
That was so good.
Anyway, there are some big changes that have been announced but not officially announced for Stay and Scream. I guess rumored, right? They're not like official.
I mean, it was posted, and supposedly, if you guys don't know like the backstory to this came from like a travel agent, and people have been posting about it. So let's talk about it, right? I want to know, is there anybody in the chat, by the way, that has not actually heard about this? Is this like new news for you guys?
Just in case maybe they can't put in the chat, there's somebody out there that's probably not heard this before. The rumor announcement,
the word on the street
is that there will no longer be holding areas. You will get a wristband, and then you kind of can roam about the park freely. This is how they do it for any like after hours event at Disney. I'm assuming they're after hours events like for
yeah,
for like Orlando Informer. I'm assuming that's how they do it. I don't know.
Maybe.
But essentially you just get a wristband proving that you have a Stay and Scream ticket and you can stay in the park for HHN. And
did you explain how Stay and Scream worked in the past?
Yeah, in the past you would go into holding areas. So they would have like a roped off or caged off little area that you would go into caged off. I know, whatever. You
We're
would
gonna
go
put you in cages, y'all.
It's like the barricades.
Yeah.
You would go into that area, and it was a large area, but that is where you would stay until the event officially opened.
Yep.
And that was your stay and scream area. It was always, centered around one or multiple houses. So you could go in and do those houses early before the park opened. But now it sounds like they want to just open it up and not have those holding areas, because previously you wouldn't be able to leave that area until the whole park opened. So if you, depending on which stay and scream area you chose, those were the houses for stay and scream that you were limited to.
Can I jump in there real quick too? In case you also are very new to this and don't know how it works, the only way to actually get into Stay and Scream is either you have a daytime park ticket to Universal already, as well as a Halloween Horror Nights ticket for that night. So you'll be in the park and then you don't have to leave. You just go to one of those Stay and Scream holding areas back in the past. And then you would scan your Halloween Horror Nights ticket, and then they let you in that designated holding area. Or you can purchase a Scream early ticket, which then allows you to get into the park as early as 3 p.m., where you can do things around the park until they start shutting down for their transition to Halloween Horror Nights. And again, you just go to that holding area, show your Halloween Horror Nights ticket, and then they let you in. That's how they did it in the past. In case you guys are wondering how to even make that a thing, there you go.
Yeah.
But to what you were saying,
we've heard a lot of mixed.
I want to real quick. I want to know what you think about this, because again, we really haven't talked about this.
I think.
What is your thoughts on it?
I think if they are able to do it, which there might be some kinks to work out the first few weekends, but I think if they are able to do this, and it runs smoothly, logistic wise, I think this will be better than the way that they've done it in the past. I think it will be difficult for them to do it because you do have those lines opening. You have a lot of things that are transitioning from daytime operation to nighttime operation. Whereas with Mickey's Not So Scary, all that stuff is just it's already set up. The little treat trails, it's just an inflatable, and then they put some candy in a bucket.
Speaking of candy, this is a good plug for Crunch.
Brian,
who's a fan of Crunch?
We are not
scale 1 to 10.
Sponsored, did not get paid, none of that.
No,
So he doesn't need to.
I'm hungry, guys. I haven't eaten lunch or dinner.
And
I'm gonna eat my Crunch bar.
This is his dinner, candy. Anyway, so with other events, after hours events, they don't have a ton of things that are transitioning from daytime to nighttime. So that is the only thing, if they're able to do that smoothly, then great. But I think it might be a little difficult. So we'll just see how that goes. I did see somebody say, Deej said the one caveat they have is that people will rush to the portals as soon as they get their wristbands and try to hold spots for their group. I do think they will still have what are those called? The stanchions out, and they will still be telling people if you want to go to this house, this is where you go for the line for this house.
I think they open the actual queue line to get into it up to the house, a certain point in the queue, and you just wait there.
I don't know. I could still see
That's
them.
what it said in the description, I think. I might be wrong. Chat, is it where you can actually go into the house queue line and wait up to a certain point, right? Also, Javier said Crunch is his #1 chocolate, 10 out of 10. So, hey, there are Crunch fans out there. Hey.
Come on.
Hey, people have different tastes. It's fun.
Okay,
yeah,
so the lines for the houses will open at when Stay and Scream opens.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
So, for instance, Dee said the line for the queue doesn't open until 4 o'clock, which is the same time you can get your wristband. So people are going to go right to it. Let's talk. I'm going to give you some information here for you, right? Some houses will open at 5:30. So it is the same exact concept of waiting for a house like you would in the Stay and Scream line, because you would just get in the line that's designated for a certain house.
Yeah.
However, instead of waiting on the inside of the park, they'll let you actually go into the line. They'll have the portals there and anybody can come, but you have to show your wristband at the front. So those people can go and then just sit in the actual line wherever that may be.
Okay.
There are problems that could come to this and questions that I feel like some people, like I think Deej said in the beginning, whereas some people are going to go up there and hold a spot for their group who's coming in a little bit later to get their wristbands and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of moments.
But if the line's just open, like it would be at any normal point during operation, I mean, it's the same thing. You can't just like cut the line.
Yes, but no, because the line's not open. Remember, the house isn't open. They're allowing you to do your stain scream holding in the actual queue line, not in their little made queue line that's in a large area where anybody can just kind of walk in, right? It's a little easier for people to kind of jump into their little group areas, I think, in the old system. But in the new system, I mean, remember some of the like the walkways and stanchions and stuff? It's a little tighter.
So Deej said wristbands start at 3, then the queue line starts at 4, and then the house opens at 5:30.
Yeah.
So
I want to start from the beginning.
I think if people are allowed to get in line, allowed to go into the portal, then I don't see an issue because it's the same thing as waiting in a queue line outside of the portal.
Totally understand.
But if the portal's closed and they have no way of telling people this is where you line up to wait for the portal to open, then yes, that would be an issue because people will clump around it.
Real quick. Yeah. I mean,
but
okay. I want to ask the chat a quick question real quick. What time did the stain scream holding areas open last year? Do you guys remember that? If you do, please put in the chat. We didn't do stain scream last year, like, at all. I just want to know what that time is when they said, like, 2 times. Do you remember the time, Steph?
No, we did.
No. Do you remember the time it opened up?
No.
Thank you. Chat, can you please let us know? Because I for the love of everything, I can't remember what time they said, all right, those who are lined up for stain scream holding areas, you can start scanning your tickets. We're letting you in.
Shanna said 3:45 to 4:15.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But my thing is, okay, so the portals don't open till 4. When did the portals open during the last previous stay and scream? Not until 3:45, 4:15. It opened at 3, but you were in a queue. They might still have stanchions outside of the portals saying, if you're planning to go into Terrifier, you need to wait in this stanchion, just like they did for Stay and Scream last year.
Okay.
So then it wouldn't be an issue because people aren't clumping around the portal. They're in a queue line.
So the portal opens.
The queue line's just not inside of the portal.
So let's talk about theme park etiquette, right? A lot of people don't really know theme park etiquette.
Okay.
And never mind. This is a you thing. I can tell when Steph is just talking on it. She's like really passionate.
Well,
so
no,
like,
I'm just trying to get more information because people are saying like this is how it's going to be. We don't know that. We don't know.
Yeah. So the question was, what's your opinion on it? Do you like the idea of it being different than what it's been?
I think if they're able to manage people clumping outside of the portals, which they could do with a secondary queue line like they always have.
Clumping will always happen because theme park people see just a line forming and they just get in it without knowing what line they're in. That happens everywhere. But
then of course people are saying like the plan is to not have a second queue outside of the portals. But do we know that? That hasn't been announced.
Nothing is official until it's officially announced by Halloween Horror Nights and Universal and actually done.
I'm just trying not to like jump to, oh, this is terrible, it's gonna be awful.
No, just go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but just go based off of the information that's being provided to you. What do you think of it? You know, this is what I want to say. I want to start from the beginning. I know you were kind of getting through some of the statements there. I want to go back and let's walk through it like if we were actually experiencing it, right? You can get in to the park starting at 3 o'clock. And I want to speak specifically to the people who are doing the Scream early ticket with a Halloween Horror Nights ticket who don't have actual access to the park. You get access to getting inside at 3 o'clock, correct? Am I wrong about that? If I am,
that's
chat.
Correct.
Okay. Let me know if I'm wrong at any point, please. By the time that happens, that means there's probably going to be a line of people waiting around 3 o'clock to get into the park. All of those people then, and I'm assuming what the first thing they're going to do is, and the first thing I would do, is to go to one of the wristband distribution locations and get your wristband. Go ahead.
That is the one thing that does
Suck.
that I am nervous about.
Yes.
Is I have seen the lines for Disney, for Busch Gardens, for so many
Any
other
event
places that use
has
wristbands.
Distribution center, yeah, or locations.
I have seen so many issues happen with that, with long lines for like getting the wristbands. HHN has done a very good job at mitigating extremely long lines, or at least getting the lines to move quickly to go through into the Stay and Scream holding areas. And I think part of that is because people are separated. You know, they have different air. Are you okay?
I'm trying to think of the areas that they're distributing it. I can't. I'm blanking out in those locations. We're on the same page though, but I'm trying to think of those locations to add for you. Go ahead.
It depends on.
I might have looked like I'm stressing, so like, bro, I'm trying to remember the information.
It depends on how many wristband distribution areas they have.
I think there's 3.
And how many people are working each of those?
2.5 each.
It's just, it depends. We don't know. We've never experienced it before like this. But that is the one thing that does make me nervous, is I feel like that could get very slow. Because not only are you scanning to get in, like you would for Stay and Scream, but then they're also having to put the wristband around you. And people are going to have issues.
I'm just going to say this. Stay and Scream this year is exactly the same as it was last year. It's just bigger. It's the entire park instead of smaller areas. Let's dumb it down, right? It's the entire park. It's not just specific, like New York, you can only be in New York, right? You can only be in San Francisco or Central Park. It's the entire park this time. However, to get your wristband to allow you to walk around so that the actual security sweeping through doesn't kick you out, you have to go to specific locations. I think there's 3 of them. I'm pretty sure you guys are right here. Minion Cafe, Lombards, and Villain Con, right? My tip would be to go, if you get in again at 3 o'clock, if you have the Scream Early ticket, or if you're already there, go to the furthest one in the back. Don't go to the front unless there's nobody in line. Go to the furthest one. That'd probably be what I would do. If I'm seeing a line build up, I'm going to the furthest in the back. I'm sure that there's less people. However, it depends on how many people are in the park for daily operations that are also staying for Halloween Horror Nights. It depends because they're spread out. So here's my opinion on this. I actually like the idea for a few reasons, but I'm also very concerned logistically because Horror Nights has never really done this. And the question is, Disney does it for Mickey's Not So Scary. You can go in the park early on if you're there, if you have a regular ticket. Then you go to one of the distribution center, like I keep saying centers, locations for your wristband. So you can just go throughout, and then they'll walk through and they said, everyone show your wristband, show your wristband. You have to hold your hand up. If you don't, they tell you get out. Same with if you go through the park at the time you can with your event ticket, they'll give you a wristband right there at the front entrance. I personally feel, and the thing is, though, this could also slow down the entrance to actually getting into the park. It'd be cool if they handed you out at the very front entrance wristbands like Disney did at Magic Kingdom. When you come in and you have your ticket, you can go to the next team member that will have wristbands to hand out to you when you have that ticket. I feel like that could help as well. But to the point being, though, is Halloween Horror Nights logistically is a very different event than Mickey's Not So Scary. Because like Steph said earlier when we talked about this subject, Mickey's Not So Scary does not need any changes, transitions. The park stays exactly the same. They just bring a parade out later on in a show, and then that's it. But everything stays the same. Halloween Horror Nights, on the other hand, they still have props that they have to transition into the scare zones and transport where they need to clear out guest traffic. And I'm interested, can it be done? Absolutely. They've done it before. New York is a good example. You have people who waited in New York. They brought props out. They just tell people just to move, right? But I'm interested to see how that transition works when you have security trying to clear everybody out. You also have the team members trying to transport props, and then you have the guests who can freely roam around because they have the wristbands. What is staying open? Is there anything closing down? We're talking restaurants, stores, attractions. Like, I want to know all of that stuff, because is it going to all stay open just like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party does, or will certain locations close down for the transition period?
I'm interested in what would cause them to make this decision, because I honestly feel like the way that they've had Stay and Scream operating since we've been going has worked just fine. I know there's been issues with storms on the first, like on opening night, and not really having areas to like send people because there's no like nowhere to go inside. I know that has been an issue, and then also people being outside in the heat, in the sun, waiting in line. I think that's going to happen anyway, especially if you're not opening the lines into the portals until 4, but giving wristbands out at 3. People are going to be waiting outside in the heat, in the sun, from 3 until 4 anyway.
I want to jump in and say one thing that we used to do was we would go into like one of the restaurants that was in a Stay and Scream area and just wait.
Yeah.
Like where the AC was.
But then we wouldn't be like the first in line.
Yeah,
but
which is fun because it's so bright anyways during Stay and Scream. I can't see the actual house when we go through it. So I'm cool with waiting a little bit.
I think maybe because of the rain, but maybe just have more areas in the Stay and Scream sections that are indoors, like open and like able to go into. But honestly, if you're ever in Universal Studios when it is downpouring raining, there's not a lot of areas to go in anyway.
Yeah, it's
if you have been like caught in a storm, like it is tough because people are just
experience.
Like packed into the little gift shops.
Yeah. Like who here in the chat, who here has attended Halloween Horror Nights and done Stay and Scream and been trapped in a monsoon? Because
I think anybody who's been
times.
for opening night.
Right? Yeah, opening night. If you've been opening night, you probably know what that experience is like. But yeah, I get it. Like, we've always had that mindset of like, if you go into Stay and Scream and get in line for a haunted house, like you're basically still just waiting the same amount. So that's why we usually just go in one of the restaurants, because like we'll wait for that group to go through and then we'll follow afterwards.
Yeah.
The line gets lower, and that's before they open up to regular guests as well. The wait time goes down, and then we're not standing outside for an hour directly in the sun, because it's still hot during the earlier days of HHN.
But that's where I'm like, I wonder what is the thing that made them choose this, because it has to be, I mean, it's got to be more expensive because now they have to buy all the wristbands. They have to provide all those wristbands.
It's true.
And they're still scanning tickets. So it's not like that's, I don't know. I'm just like very interested.
Yeah, this, again, I feel like a lot of people are excited about this for the main reason that they feel like they can just wander without having to wait in an enclosed area. Again, I'm going to use the largest Stay and Scream holding area as an example, and that being New York. We're going to talk about last year, right? To get access, you had to go, I believe it was like the San Francisco area, right, to have entrance. I don't know. Did we do New York Stay and Scream last year?
Yeah.
We did? I don't think we did last year.
No, we didn't. We only did
the back.
The back,
yeah. So I'm going to talk about the year before last year, because that's when we did New York Stay and Scream. And you had to enter by Louis. That was the entrance for it. And it was the entire New York area. They barricaded it off for everybody that had a Stay and Scream or a Halloween Horror Nights ticket to wait. And, you know, you can roam around, basically. They had some of the food booths already open. We would go into Louis. Sometimes we would even go to the food booth, get one of the food items, go to Louis, sit down in the AC and just wait. But they had all that open, which was cool. The Mummy was not open for it right away. Neither was the Tribute Store. Those were kind of considered to be part of the daytime operations at the time. So you didn't have access to it directly. Kind of forgot where I was going with this.
So I was saying, like, I wonder what made them choose this. And
oh, yeah.
I know a few people have said, like, the crazy lines for New York and being out in the heat. But they easily could still do the way that they've done Stay and Scream before with holding areas, but then just open the portals earlier where people can be in the shade.
Well, here's the question.
What shade? Yeah.
Well, no. Where's the queue lines this year? because
Well, yeah,
sound
that's-
stages are going to be very different.
Maybe that's the deciding factor, and we don't know what choices are being made logistically about the lines.
I genuinely think they're going to use one of the sound stages and maybe multiple to hold a good bit of the queue lines for some of the houses. That's what my guess would be. It doesn't even matter. I really don't think it affects like the Rip Ride Rocket area and where the queue lines can be and what time the portal is open. I don't think that conversation matters at all when it comes to this, because the main question is we're not in a holding area. Wherever that is, it's the entire park is open. So I want to know how they do a security sweep from the back of the park, all the attractions, because again, are the attractions closing down? Because if they aren't and they're remaining operational, who's to say somebody can kind of keep going through? They got to have somebody at the exit saying, all right, if you don't have this, you got to get out of the
Well,
park.
they'll cut
And
the
whoever
line
does,
off, yeah.
who can go, but cutting the line off means closing the attraction, right? And again, I'm probably sure somebody in the chat is writing this and I'm just not paying attention. I'm really concerned, but also interested to see how the logistics work. Security sweep, the guests that are not staying for Halloween Horror Nights, getting them out. Because again, they really can't put props out and open up the tarps if there's bodies and stuff until all the guests that are not staying for Halloween Horror Nights leave the park. That's when they usually open things up and bring stuff out. So they can't do that. They can't get it started until those guests leave, regardless. But then you have a bunch of other guests just roaming around, sitting around freely. I'm not against the idea. I want to see what their plan is logistically to have that, to make it the most easiest transition from daytime to nighttime operations.
Yeah, I think there will be a little bit of a
There is every year.
learning curve.
Yeah, there is every year. Even with the old stage screen patterns, it seems like the first week still is like, there's still some hiccups in it.
But I think the Big B is asking the correct question. Do you think they'll still open the food booths early to make some extra money from the day guests?
Again, go back to the past few years and how they had the holding areas was only exclusive to Halloween Horror Nights, guests and stuff. That's a good question to ask, because now that there are fans, or I keep saying fans, there are guests who are attending Halloween Horror Nights that can be there as early as like 4 o'clock roaming around. If that's the case, at 3 o'clock really, if that's the case, will they have the food booths open up for these guests to actually go and enjoy like we used to with the holding areas? If so, then will they serve to anybody?
I could see them having like a few, maybe not all of them, but I could see them having like some of them open. I don't know. Maybe they'll say like, "Do you have a wristband?"
Yeah, and that's the question,
we
right?
can't serve you.
Like, how strict is that going to be, even with that?
Like they won't take their money.
Which is it's funny because again, the park will close at 5 o'clock technically. So if it's 4:30, those guests have every right to be there and experience everything that's there. They have the ticket for it.
Yeah.
So I would assume that the food booths would open because it's a corporate company and they're going to be like, yeah, we'll take the money.
Well, then if they're just not opening food kiosks until whatever 5:30, then I am super against this.
See, it's like, what are we gaining? What are we losing? Right? Like, let's put these in the question.
I'm kind of just kidding, but
no, she's not. She's serious about her food, especially because she's so looking forward to being out of prep, which is opening weekend of HHN, and then she just eat.
Yeah, maybe they want to entice like the exiting park guests to see HHN happening, and then they'll like buy tickets to stay for the night. That could definitely be. But I still don't think that they obviously won't start like the streets or anything like that until like the scare zones.
Yeah,
until whatever,
I want to bring
6
this up
o'clock.
too. I'm gonna bring this up too. McBain said, I've seen security still kicking people out like 2 hours into an OI meetup before.
Yeah. Same with Mickey's Not So Scary. Like some people, you could just like hang out there.
Yeah.
As long as you don't try to like buy anything or go to a treat trail or go in a ride. Like if nobody sees that you don't have a wristband, like you could just chill.
Babe Ruth. That's next on the list. All right. Can I ask a question, please? For you and for you, chat. What about opening ceremony? what happens when people are freely roaming around?
They might just like with a parade, they're gonna like maybe rope it off and be like, all right, everybody, or they don't do opening ceremony.
They don't do opening. That'd be.
They're just like, yeah, never mind.
Here's the thing, right? Let's talk logistically. How is this gonna work? I definitely could see, to your point, stuff where they like they just barricade that area, not with barricades, not stanchions or anything. They just have team members kind of block it off. Everybody stay behind this area. You can watch the stage screen or the opening ceremony, which sometimes the characters, they can come off from behind the Universal Studio store that went to the old Blue Man Theater, right? Blue Man Group Theater. Sometimes they came from that direction. So they definitely could block it off, have the characters come out, do the opening ceremony. What I'm worried about, though, is if that is the case, you have a group of people from behind that's all stacked there. And I think of Hollywood in a way, depending on how this works. But if all these people behind opening ceremony, correct? If all these people in front of the gates in opening ceremony finishes up, and then what happens? Everybody at the front goes in, and not everybody walks. There are people who run. And if there's groups of people back there and they just finish, that is going to be chaotic.
Brian is just like Mr. Security Man. He's like, what about the safety?
Safety first, folks, because when it comes to legal and liability stuff, it is a living nightmare. I'm going to have my baby Ruth. That's a question for you. What do you think, Steph?
I don't know. I think
what happens with the opening ceremony? Where do people go to watch it? Can anybody just freely come up as close as they can to the gates and just stand off to the side and have a better view?
No, it'll be like a parade or something where they have it kind of like sectioned off. Maybe not with barricades, but they have it like sectioned off, I think. Alex Mance did say, I can tell you exactly why they're doing this. It's because the holding areas get packed or shoulder to shoulder with people, which they do get busy. However, there are areas of most of the Stay and Scream holding areas where it is not busy. It's just that everybody likes to go to the one area that is like the line for a house.
Stay, lay down. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you.
Like Brian was saying, in New York, we would go into Louis and it was not that busy there.
I'm also going to say, too, there are other holding Stay and Scream areas. Most of the time, we went to the far back where the sprung tents were. They had a food booth last year. They had a food booth there, the Goblins one. We'd hang out there, and it was never crowded.
Yeah, and sometimes we would go into the Richter's area. I don't think that's included in Stay and Scream the last year or 2 years. But we would go in there, and that was never busy. We get a table, and they have air conditioning, and when it's pouring down on all of you people out there in line for a house, we're in a nice AC. It just depends on where you go.
Yeah.
And it does get busy, but I think it's going to be busy in those areas, by the houses, in the lines, regardless.
Yeah.
And they could also just make the Stay and Scream holding areas a little bit bigger. They could just increase the size. If they really saw it was an issue that there were too many people, they could just increase the space.
That's what I thought. I thought they could just increase the square footage of the holding areas.
Or limit the amount of Stay and Scream tickets that they sell.
No, I think that's okay. What I would say is...
I'm saying if it was a safety issue.
Yeah, true. This is what I'm going to say. Back in the day, they used to have London and Diagon Alley be a holding area, Stay and Scream area. That's where I remember staying for 2014. Just bring that back. You can have that. You can have the back end of the park for the sprung tents. You can have Central Park's Springfield area. You can have the New York area, and then sometimes they have the Today Cafe area. There are plenty areas they could do this that will fit the amount of guests that are doing Stay and Scream. Again, I'm not against the idea of them changing Stay and Scream. However, with change brings a lot of questions and potentially good, potentially bad outcomes. And also the type of person I am too, those Stay and Scream holding areas are somewhat nostalgic now, because if that's not a thing, we're going to be looking forward. If this is the new way of Halloween Horror Nights, and this is how it's moving forward for the next few years and in the future or whatever, a Stay and Scream holding area like it was in the past will be a thing of the past. And it's like, I remember, to me, that was like Halloween Horror Nights. You get there, you try to get there if you're a local after work before 5 o'clock, get into the park, go to your stage stream area, and just kind of hang out until HHN starts. That's not a thing now. You just got to get into the park, and then you're kind of just cruising along.
Javier asked a good question. How many people actually buy a Scream early ticket versus just having a daytime ticket or annual passes? I actually think it's higher than people might, we as like locals or, you know, frequent Fear Pass people might expect, because we hear a lot of people who are trying to save money but still want to do everything that say, I'm going to pass on the express, and instead I will buy the Scream early and hopefully at least get like 2 or 3 houses in, you know, before the event opens, and then we have to wait in long lines all night because they want to get every house in. A lot of people opt for that instead of express.
No, first of all, talk about Stain Scream, right? Stain Scream has been, for as long as we've been going, has always been such a like benefit as far as a guest going to Halloween Horror Nights. There are times we've done Stain Scream and we've been able to do 4 or 5 houses, not even using Express Pass. We've been able to redo houses like 3, 4, 5 times, and that's because of Stain Scream. We, in our earlier years of doing YouTube as well, when we did our beginner videos and stuff like that, we always highlighted the importance of, you know, doing as much as you can. Excuse me. And like getting Express Pass, you know, going all out, right? But of course, these things have gotten really expensive too over the past few years. So it's like, okay, well, some people might be budgeting things. What's a good add-on to your event that is a decent price, like a good like budgeted add-on? And that is Stain Scream. I mean, now it used to be like $30 or whatever. Now it's like 55, I think, something like that. Yeah. It's 55 for the Scream early ticket. But to me, that is such a good add-on for the fact that you can get such a good, I'm having really just crazy heartburn now, but you can get such a good head start against the guests who don't have that access, and at least getting like the top houses you want, or some of the houses that you know will not have a long line to start off, that you can knock 2 or 3 out right off the beginning and then just spend the rest of your night doing the bigger lines because you have more time to do less things versus, you know, being a normal guest that's going through when the park actually opens up, you have less time to do that. So just Stain Scream in general is such a benefit to have. But I do wonder like what those numbers would be as far as, you know, outsiders really having that access. Because again, we've always, you know, I always say Express is like the golden ticket. If you can get Express, like do it. We budgeted Express this year. It really hurt, but we have it. Sweet. But for those of you who don't, who got the Stain Scream, that's usually like the next best thing to get, you know. And of course, I'm not bringing RIP. That's a whole different conversation. So I don't know, this Stain Scream talk. I know we've been at it for well over half an hour now. Can we put a poll in the chat? I want to see kind of everyone's thoughts on this. Yeah, I know some people prefer Stain Scream. I think Stain Scream is great. Put in the chat, which one would you prefer? The old Stain Scream or this rumored new Stain Scream system? Which one do you like the most? And I know we've never experienced this new one, but just based off of the sounding of it, do you think this one would be a bigger beneficial, you know, I guess, policy or process for Halloween Horror Nights compared to the old one? Or do you think we should just stick with the old one and just kind of improve on some things to make it better? So polls in the chat.
Yeah,
vote on that, guys.
I agree. I'm not going to knock it till we try it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not against them like doing this. Like, again, like I feel like the old one worked fine, and I think there were things that could have been improved on to make it better for sure. I'm a little nostalgic to it now because I'm like, oh, we're not going to have that this year. But I am interested to see if this could work out, and if so, if it's better, sweet. Because what is kind of nice too is that then we could just kind of walk around wherever we want to go, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, hey, like I want to go here. Like we can. If we want to go in this store, again, it depends if everything will stay open.
Yes. I think the one big plus to this is that if you want to do 2 houses during Stain Scream that are not in the same area, you can. so you don't have to be stuck to, you know, like these are the 2 houses that are in the holding area that you chose. So these are the ones that you have.
I think that depends on the time, because sometimes as soon as they let people in, if they clear the park, they'll let everybody just kind of roam around. If there's still people kind of clearing out and stuff, then yeah, you still have to stay in that area, whatever houses are open in that area. Yeah.
But say you're like the first person in line for a house, you get out and there's still like a decent amount of time left in Stay and Scream. Like you could go to another area of the park and get in line before the crowds get too bad.
Yeah.
For like another big IP that's not.
Yeah, like if you want to do Terrifier at the front or go all the way back and do Fallout and vice versa. Yeah, absolutely. I think
we shall see.
I think, yeah, this you're going to have a lot of questions. Whatever they do, no matter what they do, if this is actually going to happen or if it's not, whatever, I just hope that they are ready on day one logistically to get this to work for everybody. Because, you know, the biggest damper on HHN, Nico's also like,
I know he's twitching.
He's having a dream right now. One of the biggest dampers besides the monsoons that we may get and the heat is when not everything is running off of all cylinders and there's some logistical, I'm going to say, errors. Because one of the biggest complaints that I always get every single year from guests that go to Halloween Horror Nights, it's usually about some logistic miscommunication amongst the teams, especially with Stay and Scream and you know, directing people and stuff. It sometimes doesn't always seem that everybody's on the same page, and when that happens, that's where we get the most issues and complaints. Other than that, when everything is firing off on all cylinders and everybody's got the same communication, it is fluid. It's perfect. So I'm hoping that's the case no matter what they do this year. I guess we'll just see. We'll just have to wait and see. But no matter what, we're more than likely not going to wait like in the line for a house unless it's a low wait. Here's another thing I want to think of too real quick.
He's literally like kicking in. He's running in his sleep.
He's sprinting to his house that he wants to go to.
I think he's awake.
Here's a question too, right? Let's say we're going to do... First one that popped in my mind, Terrifier, right? We're in New York. We want to go to Terrifier. That's our first one. Okay, well, we don't have to go into a Stay and Scream holding area and then find the line that says Terrifier and go in there. We can just go up to the portal once it's open at 4 o'clock and just go into the line and then wait till the house opens. Correct?
If you got your wristband.
Whatever. Correct. Will they say what the wait time is projected to be? Or is it going to be just like the holding area where you just get in the line?
No, I think it'll just be a holding area.
It'll be just like the holding area.
Until once the house actually opens,
then you think they'll put the wait time
goes up.
Okay. So if that's the case, though, I vote old system over new system. Because the old system, you can walk by the Stay and Scream holding area and see how long the line is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times with Halloween Horror Nights, it may say it's 45, but when you walk back there and you see the large amount of crowd waiting, you're like, oh, this is not 40. This is like longer than 45.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would be. It'd be cool if they can update the wait time. They're like, we're right now with how many people walk through, it's going to be a 10-minute wait for you by the time you get to the back of the line.
Once it opens.
I know you keep saying once it opens. It'd be cool that at 4 o'clock.
No, I'm saying they say like once it opens, it will be a 10-minute wait from
the point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like 4 o'clock when the portal opens up, they start letting people, okay, it's 10 minutes at this point. They start letting people, okay, it's about a 25-minute wait. Okay, now it's going to be like an hour wait. So if you go to the portal and it's like 5:10, you're like, the house can open 20 minutes. But they're like, from this point right now, when you get in line, when the house opens up, it'll be like a 90-minute wait. I probably would not go in that line. I would choose something different.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think either. But that would be nice.
That will be a frustration point for people, for sure.
Yeah, I can see people complaining about that. Which is why, again, having the Stay and Scream holding area is kind of nice. Because you can see it.
The poll currently says New Way Sounds Better is at 58%. And Keep It The Way It Was is at 42%.
So it's kind of... It's leaning one way, but I mean, it's right there.
Yeah. I think we won't know until...
Yeah. I mean, we have to experience
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch opening night come around and like, that was just like a nothing burger
Fake.
And everything's just the way it was.
It gave us an hour conversation in today's live.
Yeah.
So what would your vote be though? Where would you put it?
I don't know. I have to see it in action first.
I agree with you. I have to see it, but I would still vote the old way, as I'm having more heartburn.
As more people put in the comments that you need to get your GI checked.
No, when I die, I die. That's it.
You'll
Now
suffer
I would.
on the way there.
Steph, we are suffering more than suffering could be suffered. I vote the old way just because to me it worked. Worked for a lot of people. It's kind of what the Horror Nights stick was. People knew about it. I think there are things that could be improved, like I said before. And it's one of those, like, if it ain't broke, don't need to fix it.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people that would say it is broken.
Yeah, no, of course. And that's the thing, too. I do think that, genuinely speaking, like I said, there could have been some improvements, and they might have looked at collectively the new way as an improvement to the old system. And again, if they do that and we actually experience it and it's better, sweet, I'm happy. I want the event at the end of the day for everybody to experience the event at the best that it could possibly be, so that every single guest who leaves Halloween Horror Nights can simply say that that was the coolest thing they've ever done. It is always my wish every single year.
Do we think they'll have both regular and express lines open if they open queues during Stay and Scream? I think they won't open express until they open the house.
Really?
Isn't that how they've always done it?
No. You got to think new and old. The old system, they only opened the queue lines really when like the house was about to open up. Sometimes they would go in before,
yeah, exactly.
But you would get to the portal, the entrance, and then you could choose. Do you have express or do you just have regular? And you go that way.
Yeah, now you have to.
This starts, at the beginning where it's like, okay, we have express, but we're going to still wait in line an hour until it opens up like everyone else. Not many people are going to use express if that's the case.
Yeah.
Unless they go into the standby queue and see it's like, oh my God, this is going to be such a long wait. We'll just go in the express line and use our express pass once it opens up. Some people do that. They did that in Stay and Scream. That's a good question.
Okay, I guess last year they did allow express in the express line before they opened. We honestly, like, we go and Stay and Scream and we like go inside somewhere and then wait for everything to open and then we go in line. So we don't do the whole like holding outside, like waiting.
Yeah, but they've always, again, time frames.
I'm saying I don't have personal experience with that because we've never really done that.
Oh, we've done it in the past. It's okay. We've always gone and we told people no, don't do express, save it.
Yeah. We also would never use express during Stay and Scream. Yeah. So I've never looked for it.
Yeah. Save your express, people. If you're doing Stay and Scream, try to save your express.
And yeah, I have seen people use express during Stay and Scream, but that's after the house is open, is what I'm trying to say.
Steph is a very word type of person, so change the words up, she'll answer that. So when the house is open, yes, but when they open the queue line up, especially for this new system at 4:00, you can use your express pass to get in the express line. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Yeah, then you just answer the question. Thank you.
There you go. Fist bump. Oh, you want to hold hands? No, you don't want to sing? We should sing a song. For $100,000. Get it? Because it's $100,000.
You're going to eat another one of those when you were just like, oh, my heartburn.
Yeah, you have to eat more to delay the next one.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's how it's working in my books, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, we have some...
Before we have anything, I want to know what you guys think of $100,000 because these things are really good.
Never had one.
I'm telling you, once you can actually eat food in the world, try this. This is really good.
Anyway, we have some... Sorry, I don't want to get 3 hours of sleep like I did last...
Good.
Last live stream. We have some scarezone props going up, which look really good. I know we like very briefly talked about it, but since our last live, which was Thursday, so it hasn't been that long, but since our last live, they put up more props in New York. So that's exciting to see. I know we kind of briefly talked about our most anticipated as far as scare zones go. And I think I always like New York because I like how big it is. But I think as far as the themes go, I think this might be like my least anticipated. Not
What?
not a huge BuzzCon gal.
I'm over here just enjoying my 100 grand. That stuff's so
All right,
good.
I'll keep our channel going.
By all means, go ahead.
You eat your
eating food.
chocolate.
I think more people in our chat here appreciate the love for food than the love for Halloween Horror Nights.
See, if there are huge bugs in the scare zone, I don't want that. No,
I don't
thank
think so.
you.
I don't think there's gonna be bugs because it's actually I don't know what I can say. Whatever the description is, that's what it's gonna be. The official description. Yeah. So New York got some props, right? First of all,
Big rats.
they look so good. They look so good. These like 1920s aesthetic like vehicles. It's going to be so fun. I think this scare zone is going to be fun. I don't know if I want to say it's my least. Nico, please stop licking. Please just go back to bed. Dream of chasing people.
Yeah, no big stage this year.
Anyways,
Seems like. Sorry, I'm actually reading the chat. So.
No, yeah, you're good. I mean, we haven't seen any stage props fully yet. We don't know if they put a large stage.
There's a big
I know
car
there
right
won't
where
be
the
a large
stage would
stage.
normally be.
I'm just trying to legally say what I can legally. With New York, I'm so excited to actually see this play out because it's gonna be like a fun, energetic scare zone. A lot of things are gonna be happening in the moment, lively and all, and it's gonna be really cool. I love the aesthetic for it. I'm interested to see how far they go with the BuzzCon stuff. I'm really interested to see because it's like, is everything happening because of the BuzzCon incident? Because there was like a chase, like bank robbery kind of thing going on. Will we have some things like that are just generic New York stuff also happening? Or is really this whole thing all fully just BuzzCon? And everybody that, is affected is the scare actors that are like, transforming and having all this like pus, like green stuff coming out and all.
That's why
it's
I'm
gonna be
not
gross.
excited
Nico,
for this
stop.
one.
Stop.
I don't really. I do think that the props that have gone up look really cool. I love the like aesthetic of New York and like the
1920s.
the 20s and all of that. I just am not the biggest fan of like the bugs or the mutants and toxic sludge, things like that. So.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. Because again, somebody, let's see, Justin. I'm gonna give a shout out to Justin. There may be an Easter egg with bugs, but bugs occurred decades later than this time frame. That's true because
That was like the
50s,
50s, 60s,
right? And this is the 20s. So will we see a difference in BuzzCon? What it was then, what it is now? And again, like these people in the 1920s, they're going to be like transforming into, bleh, right? So I'm interested to see this. Nico, please, dude, stop. He
just keeps licking our feet.
Yeah, he keeps messing with my foot.
He keeps licking my foot too. This dude has got to be like licking or biting something at all times.
Oh, no. No.
Sit.
You're not getting this couch. This dog's hair is everywhere and it's hard to get out.
Sit.
Nico. Hey. Hello.
Anyway.
Hello. He's side-eyeing me. He's like, Mommy's giving me attention. So anyways, yeah, New York, finally the fourth and final scare zone of this year's event to receive props. Has props. It's awesome. So we have the Origins of Horror, which is the front scare zone, which is finally getting back to the Avenue of the Stars. It's a full scare zone this year. Thank the Lord. Because I missed that. So that'll feel like original Halloween Horror Nights. Kind of backing it up too at the very front, it seems like we're gonna get the blue neon Halloween Horror Nights sign where it was last year, the past few years, I should say, in front of the Universal Studios store, whatever, just right after that little kiosk on the right. So it's gonna be kind of up in the front before you get into the fork in the road. Which Steph said she wants it further back. I do like when it's further back, but I'm not gonna complain about this one. Like that's fine. Because we have our full scare zone, I'm cool with it.
Yes.
And then
I
again,
would rather that.
Hollywood, both Origins of Horror, Avenue Stars has been getting props, more props and themes. Same with Hollywood with Masquerade Dance with Death. That's also getting more props and set
Those look
pieces.
good.
Those are looking really good. I'm excited for that Scare Zone, especially for like I'm really excited for the music everywhere. I really think everywhere you go is going to hit such a like iconic piece of music in a time period and stuff and genres. And that's when you even get to like Central Park and you have the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, which is coming along so well. It looks so good. It's so like Halloween like. We have not been in person yet since they've brought the props up in Central Park, and I'm dying to go. I want to see the pumpkins. I genuinely want to spend an afternoon when the sun's setting in Central Park and just looking at the pumpkins. I'm excited for that. Cat Lady, she's got her house. It's coming up. I saw photos of that recently today. So that's happening. No.
Sit.
Mommy's an enabler for this little guy. Don't do it. No couch.
Staying calm, isn't he?
Yeah. But he's slowly... Look at him. Look what he's looking at me. See? He's plotting. He puts his ears back. He's like, I'm just a baby. And then he turns around. He's like, he will die tonight in his sleep. Steph found like a screw. That was like, he goes under our bed sometimes. He just slides under there. Steph found a screw under the bed. So this dude is slowly taking all the pieces out so that the bed can crash down and hopes that we perish in the sleep. He's planning and plotting.
No.
Got your ear. Got you. Come here.
Anyway.
Come get dad love. Come here.
I know you have your Fright Island
Steph hates Fright Island, so let's get it done with.
that you want to do.
All right. No,
I think
no.
the boys
whoa.
are getting antsy.
Yeah. Go lay down, Hondo. Go lay down. Go lay down. Sorry, buddy. Go lay down. He's so we have a barbell over there and he has to get around it in a way, and it's funny. All right. Anyways. So yeah, I noticed we're at an hour and a half. Steph's got to get up early in the morning, so I can't keep her too long in tonight's live. But we talked Stage Scream for a while. What changes could be, what we think about that. I know we didn't really talk so much about the cue lines for the sound stages, especially with Rip Ride, but I really think that's questionable.
We have no idea.
Like nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I do think that it's going to be in the sound stages and stuff, and they might be having merge points, kind of like what they did with the new sprung tents in the back. I wonder if they want to create something like that. And again, there's still really like a good solid 3 weeks until we get to that. They could easily have like pavement and things put down in place. They do this in the back when we had the parade buildings, where they had like the lifted up little walkway. They could do something like that. I don't see it because it's going to be an active construction site.
Yeah,
I don't think they want to pause anything unless they could do a certain zone with no problem and then change up the, well, I don't know. That to me, there's a lot of questions with that. So we didn't really talk much about it because we're just waiting to hear more. We also talked recently just about scare zones, obviously, as you guys heard. But we're going to be moving on into Fright Island. And just before we do, the Legion of Doom. With the $10, said Brian, can you ask Universal if they can bring back the Crypt Keeper as an icon at HHN? I'll do my best. If I ever get the chance to talk with the team again, yeah, I'll bring it up for sure. Because Crypt Keeper is cool. I never got to experience the Crypt Keeper at HHN. That is before my time. But I will say this. I don't think it's a far... Stop. Leave my foot alone. I don't think it's a far-fetched possibility, if that makes sense. I think everything is on the table. If they were able to get Terrifier, Five Nights at Freddy's, WWE, Fallout, which they've done WWE before, so not surprised much about that.
Yeah, but that's also a licensing or like a partnership thing that they have to do. That all that stuff is really difficult.
No. Do you see his paw?
Yeah.
See that? Stay. Just look at his head. Look at him.
I know.
Look at this guy. Hondo, did you fart? Hondo. Ah, he's wigging his tail. Yeah, he did. Okay. Anyways, Legion of Doom with the 10. Thank you, my man. I will ask them if I ever get the chance. I'm excited for you guys to see the latest project that should be coming soon. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to move on to Fright Island. For all of you guys who care about Fright Island, stay tuned because episode 1 is about to kick off. For all of you that don't know what Fright Island is, it is a giveaway that we are hosting for our Fright Club members only. But instead of just doing a giveaway in a random wheel and picking a winner and giving it to them, what we didn't know, what we did is we created an entire story. It's an entire lore that takes place over a couple of years and a couple of seasons. And it's called Fright Island. A buddy of mine, I'm talking with them. We're potentially even going to create a book. We want to create a story. No, that is like a prequel to the events of Fright Island and how it came to be. And let's just say it's a game show where contestants go to hopefully survive and be the last one left alive. Because when you are eliminated, you are like killed. Yeah, I hope YouTube's not like, whoa, but it's just a game. It's all made up. It's all fake. So anyways, with that being said, I'm probably going to click on it and it's going to do the trailer thing. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to... Whoa. Yeah, Fright Island. Oh, where did we go? We lost ourselves. We're back. There's Nico. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Fright Island. You guys ready for it? I will say this. I have... the Fright Island Wheel of Death. I can't get that on the screen. I don't know what's happening. We're having some technical issues, so I can't get it on the screen. So you guys are just gonna have to trust us on who is selected in the process. But before we do that, we have an entire little silly thing to show you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Fright Island Season 2025, Episode 1 begins right now.
With energy, welcome to Fright Island, a competitive game show where members of the Fright Club must face horrifying, emphasize horrifying with a slight pause, challenges to remain alive. Slight giggle. The objective? Slight pause. Be the last one standing. Wait, is that the teleprompter telling me to read those things in the brackets? In a questioning voice of confusion, please stop reading the words in the brackets. Oh, I get it. Anyways, let us begin Fright Island Season 2025. All 37 contestants are arriving to Fright Island via their very own private yacht, paid for by an unknown source. Let us welcome each and every single one of our contestants. Jim Daniels, Chris Does Things, Smiths, Artemis, The Dolphin, Team Randall, Michelle Klinger, Crappy Tappy, Kevin Diossi, Kamara, Jonathan Avila, Halloween Junkie, Valoria Nichols, Shanna Bell, Michael P, Mad Hatter Audio, Southridge Films, Mark Comer, Nick Romes, Jake Tustin, Mr. Coco Nuts, Sal Crescenti, Joseph Turner, Bean, Dej, Fungi Gamer, Greg D, Isaac Forshey, Mary Vav, Alexa Lobens, Breedlove, Miles, Menus, and Mysteries, Shannon, Double GMZ, Corey TBL Fan, Elevanable, Purple Muppet 18, and Brandon Likes Everything. I'm sure he does. Now, all 37 contestants arrive just in time for our season opener feast. Why am I getting deja vu? This very much could be their last meal, so I hope it's a good one. Ha ha he he. After the contestants finish up eating, to their surprise, the first challenge of the game begins. As a reminder, Fright Club legends possess 2 shields, practically giving them 3 lives. Fright Club veterans possess 1 shield, and finally, Fright Club beginners. No shields for them since they live life on the edge. And in this game, that is a literal statement. Let us begin the first challenge of Fright Island 2025. All of our contestants must stand on one of the 37 spots in our Lady Luck wheel. The wheel will spin and randomly stop on a contestant, marking them for elimination. Ha 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 ha! I love this! 5 total contestants will be eliminated. With that, let's test out our contestants' luck.
Now, this is the part where the wheel should pop up. But again, like I said, technical difficulties. It's also a good length for us to go to the bathroom and take a little break. So it works out. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, like you heard from our host, which I can't say his name just yet because it's part of the story, we are going to be doing the Wheel of Death. So, just like it was said in the story, 5 contestants are going to be drawn randomly. Nico, lay down, buddy. 5 contestants are going to be randomly drawn. The 5 that are picked will be put up for elimination. Now, as you guys remember, we also have Fright Club Legends who have 2 shields, Fright Club Veterans who have 1 shield. If you are picked, you're fine. You have a shield. You move on. But we will make sure we have 5 total contestants that will be eliminated. Period. And that is because you guys voted that in our Discord. I'm actually going to go real quick to the Discord just to make sure. Yeah, so it was either should we have 1 contestant, 2 contestants, 3 contestants, or 5 contestants be eliminated, and 5 won. So most of you guys want more people eliminated, which is crazy. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go. I can't show you guys this, which is a bummer, but I'm going to spin the wheel, and we're going to go ahead and have our 5 contestants named out. Steph, you can see over here, so you can make sure. Okay, here we go. The first spin. I wish you guys could see because this is what builds the suspense of seeing the name spun. And it looks like the first name that's mentioned is Mark Comer. However, Mark has a shield, so Mark is good. We're going to remove one of those shields and continue the spin. We're waiting until we have 5 total contestants. The second one that you just can't see. I wonder if I can make you guys see this. I'm going to figure it out. Brandon likes everything. Congratulations, my man. You are the first eliminated.
Congratulations.
Okay, so Brandon likes everything. I got to like write this down to remember, but we got it. Okay. Let me see if I could really quick. I'm going to figure it out, guys. Give me 1 second. You guys might see some crazy stuff. Can you see that? What is that? Oh, I'm gonna put it off the screen. Get ready. Maybe. No, I don't think that worked. Okay. Never mind. That did not work. You're just gonna have to trust us with the names. Sorry again, guys. That's how it works. All right, we're looking for the second contestant who got spun out. Nope, and here comes Nico running in. Not listening. No, just stay. Stop. No, you're not picked. Your part of the story doesn't come till later. Michelle Klinger. However, she has a shield. So we're going to continue to look for the second name. No, you're not it. You can't tell them your secret yet. And it looks like the second name was Sal Crescenti. Sal, my man. Guess what? Second eliminated. What a bummer. Can't wait to tell him that. We're losing people. However, these are the ones who are just eliminated, so we don't know what happens. These are the ones being picked. The third name, Fun Guy Gamer, but Fun Guy Gamer also had a shield, so moving forward, look for the third contestant. And again, you just got to trust us. I know we're right here. You don't get to see it, which is a bummer, because it's a lot of fun watching the name. Looks like Dij also got hit, however, shield moving forward. Shields really help until the very end when you notice the shields aren't going to be there anymore. Next one on the list looks like it's going to be Joseph Turner. Joseph, you are the third contestant eliminated. Congratulations.
Keep saying congratulations.
Congratulations. Question is, in what way are they going to be eliminated? Double GMZ is the fourth one eliminated, and we're looking for the final one. Who's going to be the final one joining in the first episode of Fright Island Season 2025? And that will go to Mad Hatter Audio. So there we go. We have our 5. You writing it down? Beautiful. Look at his face. Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, let me back out. Let me go back to us. Stop the licking. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So Steph, read out the 5 contestants. who have been eliminated.
Brandon Likes Everything, Sal, Joseph Turner, Double GMZ, and Mad Hatter Audio.
Unfortunately, you guys are the 5 that have been eliminated from episode 1 of Fright Island. So, let us play part 2 for y'all.
We have our 5 chosen contestants who are up for elimination. Contestants, it is my honor to officially declare that you are the first to be eliminated from Fright Island. Not a good feeling, huh? Now, head over to the designated stage and stand on one of the 5 marked circles. And now, with the pricking of my thumb, I officially declare your elimination. Oh, that spike must have hurt. Anyways, surviving contestants, please make way to your rooms. We shall see you all the next time for episode 2 of Fright Island. Good night, everybody. Wow, that is a lot of blood.
Ta-da! Anyways,
Yay.
there you go. Episode 1 of Fright Island. I see some people asking, Javier's like, what would your version of Fright Island be, Steph? Fright Island would not exist. That'd be Steph. Steph is not a fan of Fright Island.
I'm not a fan. It's just not my idea at all. This is all Brian. He's the creative one. I'm like, okay.
Again, it's meant to be just a little giveaway, but I didn't want to do a simple. Nico, can you stop licking people's shoes and feet? Please, my man. But yeah, so like it was just supposed to be a giveaway. However, one day it kind of just infested my mind where I was like, what if we did something called Fright Island and did a game show, but it's a sinister plot to cover up the CCC, which is the Cosmic Corporation or the Cosmic Control Corporation, and it's found on an island with the coordinates of 300 or 31. I can't tell you guys all that. Anyways, yeah, my
ADHD happened.
Yeah. So I have a whiteboard that's over there. It's huge. It's got the entire map. And if we can continue to finish this year's season, because last year didn't happen. If you guys know, you guys know. Shout out to Universal for that one. But the next season, if we can continue that, things will happen. We'll revisit the island. You guys will then get secret clues throughout the year that'll kind of hint at what's happening with the island, as well as
And
legendary
then
truth being
at
involved.
the end of the 5 years, maybe somebody will win a giveaway.
You guys will win a giveaway every single year. So, anyways, for all of you guys who stuck around for that, I appreciate you guys because it took us a long time to get that done today, especially right up to the wire to finish it up. Because everything that I wanted to do originally was just not working. So we just had to deal with the very final plan that we had to make it work. And that's what you guys got to see. So it happened. I'm just happy it happened. So I'll see. All right, folks. With that being said, we're going to have to wrap it up. Steph's tired. She's got to get to bed. Nico. Did something scare you?
I don't know.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Anyways, Nico's acting crazy. Hondo's staring at us. He wants to get up. And that's going to be the end for our live stream. We talked about all that we had to. But don't worry. We do plan next week, Tuesday, to potentially do another live stream. We'll have Fright Island episode 2 continue. And at the same time, we'll talk about more Halloween Horror Night stuff. I'm hoping we can do a video for you guys. No promises, because this weekend, Saturday, Steph has a competition. Number 3 of the year.
Yes.
So we're cheering Steph on this year. But that's it. That's all we got.
All right.
We're done. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in right now,
You
thanks.
haven't been doing your normal outro, and then I don't know what to say.
You know what's funny? Ever since doing the Discover Universal podcast, like it's like trained me not to do my
because
outro.
you can't do that.
Because they're like, yeah, you can't say peace out. Nobody can have peace.
No peace.
No peace for you. So yeah, I haven't been doing it, but I guess I could do it. Should I?
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Remember the we'll be right back little sequence here.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, with that being said, that's going to do it for us tonight in this live stream here in Casa del Hondo, talking about all things Halloween Horror Nights. And until the next live stream or video, whatever it may be, I forgot, bringing the boys. Hondo wants to say goodbye. Until the next live stream or video, we look forward to seeing you guys there. And like always, we'll catch you guys in the fog. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Say bye, Hondo. Say bye, Hondo. Here, say something. Come here. Say something. Sniff. Woof. Speak. 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 Nico.
Come on, speak.
Speak. Nico, come here.
Speak.
Sit. Hold up. Sit. What up, guys? Watch this. Animal actors, get ready. Sit. Ready? Stay. Speak. Oh, violence. No.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh. All right. That's it. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.